I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin.
Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit him right in the chest. It be looking like magic, better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone, eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones, and you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long, pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash a scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they see in double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back, never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag, I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun.
What's good, everybody? Back with another episode of Horseshoe My Podcast, and yeah, guys, we got to win Sunday, man. How you guys feeling about that?
Good. I mean, it's not 0-3. It's not 0-4. It's good. It's a step in the right direction.
Some teams didn't win on Sunday, and we got two teams in our division that, is 0-3.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse, right? We could have a generational talent be 0-3.
and get outplayed like he did yesterday. So, man. So before we get into our topics for the day, let's get into the guys, man. Introduce one of our fan favorites, Harish.
What's up?
And another fan favorite, we always call him a silent assassin because things he say does have us surprised. Austin.
What's up? I'm Austin.
And you already know who I am. You know, I'm just a neighborhood hater. Everybody hate me, so because I'm just Josh Senior. So, but before we get into our topics, let's talk about this our network at www.fanbattlesports.com, where you find all our articles, past episodes that's on the way, and hopefully we got more victory episodes on the way, especially this year. But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I know I was a little worried going to this game. I think I had us winning by 3. It could have been a blowout, but you know, we allowed them to get back in and scored that touchdown when it was like 21-9, I think. That's what 21-9.
We got one late, and I tried to get the onside kick, right?
Yeah, so
classic.
It wasn't pretty, but you know, as the topic would say for this episode, by any means, that's what it was. So by any means, we did it in several ways to get that victory. Like I said, it wasn't pretty. A lot of things that happened in this game that could went either way. You know, quarterback play, defense on both sides was stellar. Offense was on both. It was mid. But like I said, the topic says by any means, and that's what we did to be victorious. Anybody want to make a comment on that?
It was Anthony Richardson's first wire-to-wire win. His first win as a professional when he starts and ends the game. So,
oh yes, he did.
Just need Colts fans to be patient. Like literally, dude, in the league 2 years, he's played 6 games, and this is the first one that he's played the entire game, and the team has won. Or no, yeah. He came out a little bit in that Rams game, right? When they came back, he came out for plays here and there. But this is the first one where he played from start to end, and they won. So shout out to him, his first like true professional win, if you will.
Yeah, shout out to him. And I mean, I want to expound on that. You know, guy, he's his worst critic. Played a bad game. in the victory speech, he told his teammates that he will perform better going forward, and hopefully he does that. Put that chip on his shoulder and go out and perform for his teammates. Because, like I said, he didn't play well, but the team still got the victory. What you think, Austin?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows you have to win the ugly games if you're going to be successful. So we just got to win pretty games too, and we'll be good.
Yes. Usually, I think I saw a stat where it said how we lost so many games. I think we lost several games by 7. A lot of games in the past couple of years.
Last year, yeah.
Was it last year?
It's probably a combination. Well, I don't know about 2 years ago. That was a dumpster fire, but last year we lost a lot of lost a lot of close games.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'd be shocked if we were like maybe like 2-7 or something ridiculous like that.
That's terrible. But to be on that winning side yesterday, as positive, on a positive note. But on to the next topic, I'm gonna apologize when I talk about this person here, because I wasn't so excited for this person, because I thought this person was just a depth guy that we drafted, and he wouldn't see much of the field. But Jalen Jones' performance, what you guys think about that? The guy came out, played one of the better rookie receivers in the draft, and did well. Yeah, Romy did have 100 yards. But I think most of that was, towards the end where that was needing to score. So, but he did well. What you guys think on that? I start with Austin.
I mean, yeah, he stepped up huge for us. Obviously we lost Juju and didn't do much to replace him. And he really did step up and played how we needed him to play the rest of the year. So hopefully this is another step in the right direction for him in the NFL period, not just a one-off performance. But I mean, the 2 interceptions were very good interceptions, especially the second one. The second one was crazy, like hard play to make as a wide receiver, let alone a cornerback.
Yeah.
I'm still at odds with that one, because I don't know how he did that. I just had a concentration,
Yeah.
still see the ball as it been thrown, and he has his safety to deflect it. He still had, like I said, to have his eye and then have 2 feet down before go out of bounds. That's impressive.
Absolutely.
What you think, Harish?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the off season we talked about this, right? Like if we were banking on Dallas Flowers being the guy, we were going to be cooked, right? And I was like, look, I like Jalen Jones. What I saw of Jalen Jones last year was good, and I was hoping that he would continue, and he played really well. Listen, I think Jalen Jones overall this season's actually not been terrible. He's done okay. And I hope he continues to grow. It still doesn't negate the fact that there's not a lot of talent on this team. Like, I don't care what anybody tells me. Jalen Jones did very well. He did well for a game, and I believe that he can be that guy. I want him to continue to grow and be that guy, because we need him to be successful. We don't have any other options, and I don't trust that our GM gets any more options. So he's what we got him. We have Kenny. We have Julian Blackmon and Juju when he gets back. So that's a solid core to build off of. And we'll just see what happens. But I was very happy to see the progress that he made over the weekend. And I hope he continues to grow, because I do think he could be our second outside or third outside corner, if you will.
I agree. I mean, and then that one interception, the first one was his first one of his career.
Yeah.
And then turn around and get another one. Like I said, it was impressive interception where, Nick Cross deflected the football from Romy, and he has, and Jalen has his concentration on the ball the entire way. I think it was one-handed, wasn't it? I think he got it one-handed, and then still put 2 feet down to get that interception and get the ball back to the offense, which led to a score. So shout out to him. I had my doubts with him. I thought maybe that this was just a draft pick where we just needed depth and could possibly have another guy that would be ahead of him. So he proved me wrong on Sunday. Hopefully he can build off that and go prove himself even further the rest of the year and the rest of his career.
Yeah, he had a day. He was very good, and I was very happy to see him that he grew that much. So again, I'm just hoping he continues. I do think he could be that guy. I want to see it consistently now.
Let's give these comments before we move to the next topic. We got Horseshoe. Yes, sir. We got Teresa, one of our consistent fans who always flood the comments, support us. So, going on Horseshoe, Teresa. Yeah, a win is a win, and it builds our confidence, and I hope it does moving forward.
Yep.
Chris, our host. What's going on, Chris? Jalen Jones had a day. It'd be a good confidence booster moving forward for him. I agree. Yeah. Jones got 2 interceptions. It was awesome. Yeah, shout out to him and his 2 interceptions. Latu channeling his inner Robert Mathis. We'll get to that in a second. But yes. Favorite play of the game was with the whole offense push. Yes. Oh, that was awesome too.
That's passion. I think last week we talked about the lack of passion and teammate chemistry, camaraderie that like I feel like most teams, good teams should have. That's the first time I saw it all season when they're just like everybody's in there and they all are accomplishing one goal and they're all saying, all right, we are units. We are all together and we're going to make this happen, including Anthony Richardson. I don't know what he squats, but that dude was in there pushing. That was crazy. I was like, oh, snap. Like he's like in the middle of this. And that's the type of passion I was talking about last week. Like that's effort. That's passion right there.
I mean, talk about moral victory. How often you see a quarterback pushing a pile.
Yeah. If that guy's working like that in the middle of the game, then what the hell am I doing, right? So that was great to see.
Chris again, Harish. I know Ballot.
Like Jalen Jones, man. I've said it for a long time.
Yes, yeah, that's a good pickup. Like I said, I know I was kind of harsh. I won't say harsh. I had my doubts with him, and he finally stepped up and made those plays when we needed it. I know it's the Bears. Everybody would say, "Hey, the Bears, they a young team and they're building towards the future." But so are we. To get that win, I'm happy. I'm excited. So for anybody that's hating on that, screw you. Go to my next step. But yeah, Chris mentioned this in the comments. Latu, the first defensive player in the draft, comes up with a clutch strip sack, and that was major. We've been waiting on this for 2 weeks, and he came out and he did his thing. And it's one of the first time he sacked Caleb. He done it in that conference last year or last 2 seasons. So that's impressive. The guy come out there. I think somebody told him. I think was it Taquan Lewis or somebody told him that keep doing it because once you get that same look, I think he was against a tight end. Connect.
It's a left tackle, wasn't it? He had the left tackle, and they kind of pushed him a little outside of the defensive line, so he's almost like lined up as a defensive end, but at the linebacker position. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of rushed the outside and just kind of, he has that bend and got around the left tackle, and he said that he saw a wide open lane. Caleb still had the ball right there, so he went for it, and it was great timing, and he got the ball out. So that was really cool to see.
What you think, Austin?
I mean, yeah, like you said, we've been waiting since the first game. He's gotten pressure. He's almost gotten sacked several times, and it was just a long time coming. And I think we'll see plenty more in the next coming weeks.
Yep.
Did you guys see after he got the sack, he forgot about the ball. He just like kept.
He's like, yeah, I got that. I think he gets credit for the sack too, right?
Yeah, he got the sack. First career sack too. But his second, I think that's the second turnover because he got the turnover against Packers on Josh Jacobs at the goal line.
Yep.
Yeah, he picked it up.
But yeah, he got the turnover and he just forgot about the play. He just took off running. He just forgot about it. But Rashawn Davis and Grover Stewart picked it up. So,
yeah.
It's all good. Rookie habits, it'll get broken. He was too excited, anxious to get that first sack, and he ran to the end zone to celebrate with teammates. So shout out to Latu. I've been the biggest supporter since day one. I'm continuing being that supporter. So shout out to him and what he did. Go to the comments. Let's see. I like to be on the team to win. And yes, I would love that every week if every team loses except us.
That'd be nice. That'd be a nice change for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, at least you didn't get beat. Was it 37? No, was it 47?
I thought it was like 31-7 or something like that.
Yeah. Bills beat the brakes out.
It was a beat down. That's all I know.
It definitely was. Let's see, Chris had a comment. Yes, AR pushing a goal line stance show that grit you want. Yeah, I'm gonna say you never see a really quarterback. What quarterback can do that? You would never see a Payman, and you would never see Andrew Luck. I don't think you would see a Patrick Mahomes push a pile to get his running back into the end zone. But you see the guy that we all seen last year. He got that. Yeah. He's athletic. He can do that. And like Harry said, that we don't know how much he bench press, but it's a hell of a lot to push everybody damn near in the end zone.
Yeah,
so that's impressive. But next topic, man. We don't really talk about him a whole lot. We haven't in a while because contract issues, injuries, and a lot of things. But JT got his back-to-back 100-yard game, and that's a sight to see. Good sight to see. He's. I mean, last week, we all questioned what happened, why he got benched, or had to sit the fourth quarter, and the coach explained that we was kind of behind and we needed to throw instead of run for the reason why he didn't get those reps in the fourth quarter. Nevertheless, he had his 100-yard last game, and he had 100 yards this game to help us win this game. So, what you guys think? Go ahead.
You say me? You go ahead.
Okay. No. JT's a patient runner. He's finally healthy. I think he's like getting into football shape now. I don't think what we saw week 1 is reminiscent of what the type of player he is. He was effective in the pass game. He was effective in in block protection. All these kind of things that people didn't think he was good at. And I'm not going to say who, but he's actually good at. Like, surprise, surprise, he can actually do these things. So it's good to see him. He'll get another opportunity this week against a good Steelers defense. We'll see, how we can hold up against them. He'll get another opportunity to run again. Like, that was not like the Bears' defense is not a bad defense. They're actually a very good defense, right? And so we'll see what another good defense that should be good, decent against the run. We'll see how he does against the run, but it's glad to see what a healthy JT can do. Well, if he continues that momentum, he continues to grow. But none of us are surprised that he has back-to-back 100-yard games. This is what we expect of him because we think he's just that talented.
I agree. It was, like I said, it was a welcome sight to see for having back-to-back 100-yard game. We've seen this since 2020. We've seen it from him. We just waited for years for this just to be on display after all the stuff we went through last year, missing 4 games. We can say this contract. We don't know if it was injury or not, but hey, it happened. But he came on strong last year, especially the last game of the season where I think he had like 150 on 30 carries. So for him to do that, shout out to him as well. But you can go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, these are the type of the performances that you want to see from the running back that got paid. It's like Reese said, it's always good to see him back to where he was before all the problems we had last year. And I think, this is just who he is. Not saying he has to hit 100 every game, but he could, as long as he stays healthy. That's all we can hope for. I think he played great. He was one of the only bright spots on the offense last week and helped us get the win.
Yeah, a lot of people say he carried us, and if that's what helps us win. Keep running the ball because they did set us up to get that victory. I mean, especially at the end of the game where you needed to get that first down on, I think it was 2nd and 6. You had Quinn Nelson leading charge to get that first down to milk that clock. You definitely need that running back. I don't know if you guys remember, but I don't think JT even played last year against Steelers. I think we had Goodson and Sermon who led the charge, and they both had a good run game together to beat the Steelers. So to have JT in this game, it'd be major.
Yep.
But let's get into some fun stuff, guys. Let's get into some reaction on this Bears versus Colts. I guess again, it wasn't pretty, but nevertheless, we got the victory at the end at the end of the clock. Team came out victorious. What you guys think? Matter who go.
Yeah, I mean, the offense obviously didn't show up how we want them to show up, but I mean, I guess did enough to get the win. Our defense really stepped up, and we've said like our run defense has been trash for the first 2 weeks, but I mean, Noah's DeAndre Swift is not really on the same level as like Josh Jacobs and Joe Mixon, but to just stop the run and force Caleb Williams, a young quarterback, to pass, and then our secondary did what they needed to do to, force turnovers, like we mentioned, Jalen Jones. Our linebackers tackled better. I think that that's a good step for the rest of the year. Our defense needs to keep playing well like that, and our offense will have better games in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it's, again, the offense struggled a little bit. Anthony Richards sailed a lot of passes, but the guy's only in his sixth start. Like, we really need people to chill out. Like, it's not that big of a deal. The one thing I really wanted to see, like, as we got into like the second half of that game, is I just wanted to, not Anthony Richardson, I just wanted to see the team put together a drive, and then we finally saw it where, they handed it off to JT like 3 or 4 times. Trey Sermon got a couple carries, he gets the touchdown, and it's like, okay, you get a drive. Like, I think that needs to happen earlier in the game. Like, just whether it's a drive to get 3 points, a drive to get 7 points, like that needs to happen earlier in the game. And I think we all understand that. Because then I think it just calms Anthony Richardson down, because he's got this like, you don't really want your quarterback to get like too emotionally high or too emotionally low, but I don't think he's emotional. I think he just gets excited and he's more antsy. Right. And again, it's just like to calm that down and just go out there and say, okay, this is just another drive. And I think because he's still so young in his career, if you can get that out there early, I think it will help a lot. Defense was phenomenal. Yes, they gave up 300 yards, whatever the hell they ended up giving up. But they only gave up what did they end up scoring? Like 10 points, 15 points or something crazy like that. At the end of the day, it's crazy. This is why, the film doesn't always tell the story. The stats doesn't always tell the story. You kind of need everything. It's crazy to think that this team is like as bad as has looked at times. I think they're like top 5 in points allowed or something like that. They're like one of the best in the league and top in points allowed at the end of the day, which at the end of the day, you're trying to prevent the other team from getting points. So, I mean, that's actually accomplishing their job. So, as bad as it looks on the field, and as much as we want to overreact and be frustrated, they're doing their job, which I guess is fine. I know we want it to look pretty every week, but I thought the defense was very good. Yeah, push it. Hey, I pushed it. You literally said it, dude. What do you mean? Listen, Chris. No. Just turn that comment off. We're not. Yeah. But yeah, it was good to see the defense excel. The offense will come. Like, I'm not worried about the offense. JT is providing us with just enough offense to get by. Yes, we want to sustain drives. Yes, we want to see AR be able to throw intermediate and short routes. Yes, we want to be able to, get the ball to 8 different receivers. Yes, I still want Michael Pittman Jr. to step up, but I think Michael Pittman Jr. actually played really well. Like, I didn't think he wasn't great, but he was more like visible than he had been in the past couple of weeks. So I guess it's just a work in progress. We'll continue to see. I'm still waiting for my AD Mitchell touchdown, and it needs to happen ASAP, because
it's coming.
Once that happens, that guy gets open way too much for him to not have a touchdown yet. He has I think like I need to go find it. There's probably a stat for like amount of times that somebody's open, or yardage per like route run or something crazy like that to get open. I'm gonna find a stat. I know there's a stat on route running that like determines how like good you are getting open after running a route. AD Mitchell has to be one of the best, because that guy is always open. So once AR can kind of figure out these weapons, and I think it'll come with time, I think things will slowly start to come together. I think the thing that makes me more positive about this than the Frank Reich potato head era is that this stuff would happen and we would see all this nonsense on the field and we would lose on top of that, right? These guys are finding ways to win. And they found a way to win this weekend, and I hope they continue to find ways to win because I don't want to go back to what we heard in week 2. It's like, oh, we don't know how to win yet from like 6-year veterans because that's crazy. So, but I thought overall it was a good performance. Defense played really well.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like you said, both of you guys are have valid points. For me, like you said, offense was, had a slow start again. And like you said, it wasn't pretty. We had some. I think we had a lot of penalties too. In this game, I think we had like almost 10 penalties. We got to clean that up. But for us, offense, you had, quarterback was too anxious. He was just, like you said, antsy and just, selling these passes over his targets. I think we had one on the flat too. I think it was either JT or it was tight end. I think it was Granson. By the way, who had a big catch for like 40 yards down the field on the sideline, and also Adam Pierce. Adam Pierce been all 3 games. Adam Pierce been cutting up. That's why I've been using that word.
Him and AR seem to have this like chemistry that none of the other wide receivers do. Again, there's always one. Like every quarterback has just one guy he's comfortable with, and I guess it's Alec Pierce right now. So that's good.
Josh Downs, those two will get theirs together. Same thing with AD. They get theirs good. But it seemed like it was more so on the run game. JT and Sermon did carry this game us to a victory. With the positive yards they had, I think JT was averaging about 4 yards a carry, and Sermon came in with the big run to the goal line. This team wanted to win the game, and they got it. They went and willed the team to victory. I'm gonna get into some comments too. I know Ryan said, I'll go back to this one. The execution wasn't there for us against the Bears, but we played really hard and battled. And like Zion, who was Zion? Zion said, sometimes wins are truly ugly. Beautiful in our own ways. What's up, guys? Hope y'all have a great show. Appreciate that. Run. Top 8 running backs must be vocal points of our offenses. Otherwise, why pay them? JT is a true elite back and deserving for him and us to see him in prime form. So he definitely paid dividends on Sunday. In the past week, he just didn't win the game because we couldn't stop the run. Richardson just getting better, and he's giving JT the ball, and I love it. I will not stop that. If it's working, getting part of George, and we're winning, I'm okay.
Listen, if he wants to Ryan Tannehill his way through half this season for a little bit, I'll be completely okay. If he wants to be like the master of the handoff, and we're winning football games, I am okay.
I was really surprised with Sermon. I didn't think that, I was like, why have him? I think it maybe could got learning from that, but Sermon doing his thing.
I think it's the experience. He knows the playbook. He's been here a while. I think that's just experience.
Pierce did good too. But yeah, Pierce is definitely. I think he only had that one catch, but that one catch was set us up as a field goal. Set us up in range, even though AR threw a pick at the wrong time. I do want to talk about that, the turnovers. I know he's a young guy, and he's really down on himself with these turnovers. He's hating that he's turning the ball over, and you want that because he wants to get better and not turn the ball over. That was just a bonehead play, even though the coach admitted that it's on him, knowing that I think they were playing like zone or somebody, I can't remember what the defense they were in, but it was a good defensive play where it was 2 guys defending Mo Cox, and he still threw it. And caused a turnover, but he'll get better at that. He's just better with reps. Continue seeing the offense thrive. Continue practicing. Those things will go away eventually. He just can't have multiple turnover games as he has in the past 2 games because those having multiple turnovers don't lead to wins. Ask Trevor Lawrence. Ask Will Levis, and they even ask CJ Stroud. Even though he's a great quarterback. But he had 2 turnovers against Minnesota that cost his team. So you just can't have that many turnovers and and try to win the game. So hopefully take that as fuel and learn from those mistakes, mental mistakes, and continue just growth. Let's see. Kenny Moore gave a scare. Yeah. I probably almost had a heart attack when I saw that play. Hopefully he's okay. We'll see for us with the practice and see if he's be available on Sunday against Steelers. What's going on, Sean? We did not rip their damn kicker. Oh yes, let's talk about that. That play was awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, did it lead to a first down? I had ended up leaving. Did it?
Yeah,
I think I only gave.
Yeah, they got the first down, but I think they ended up stalling out or something. I don't think it like ended up costing them anything. It was so hard to tell. Like even like in the slow-mo, it kind of looks like he tipped the ball, but then it's like it wasn't obvious enough for them to overturn it, right? I think like honestly, I didn't even notice that he might have even tipped the ball until Twitter blew up and thought it was gonna blow a gasket, and I went back to it. I was like, well, yeah, I don't know if we did. I don't know if we didn't. It was one of those where I don't think the camera angle did it justice to tell enough if there was actually a tipped ball. You could see his fingertip go back a little bit, but that doesn't mean that he tipped the ball.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was still kind of back and forth with that one. I was like, wait a minute, we've seen what this last year where what's the guy named 41 Grown? Is it Grown? Can't say his last name. I'm drawing a blank. Our linebacker that blocked that punt.
Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart, who blocked that punt against the Titans and injured their kicker. That's roughing and kicker right there.
Yeah, but once the ball is tipped, it doesn't matter, right? I think that's why that's why it was like if he would have tipped the ball, then the penalty doesn't matter.
Okay.
And that's why it was such a hot because he ended up running into the kicker, which is a stupid penalty in itself. But that's neither here nor there. Because if he tipped the ball, it wouldn't have mattered. The Colts would have the penalty would have came away. I think they ended up getting the ball anyway in like a couple plays later. But yeah, I just think it was for me anyway. It was too hard to tell. And there's no way anybody in the stadium's gonna be like, "Oh, I was there and I was tipped the ball." You don't know, dude. You have no idea.
I heard it get tipped.
I heard the sound of the ball hit the tip of his finger. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Especially when everybody's drinking, having fun. You're not.
Yeah, it's so loud in there. Everybody's going nuts. You didn't. Well, we saw the big screen. Yeah. You have this. People in the arena have the same TV camera angles that people on TV have. I don't know if you guys realize that because they're using the broadcast screens on those cameras. Yeah. They're not using like special. You come to the game screens to like give you special views. Like you're not that special. If anything, the people watching on TV probably have different camera angles because they're using the broadcast cameras. So you get the same angles everybody else does. So no, you didn't see anything crazy on the monitors. No, you didn't hear like a fingertip hit the ball. No, it was too hard to tell.
Yes, and it's coming with Sean. We had a good tight end. We witnessed stars. I've been saying that when Woods went down, that was just pretty much.
You have a great tight end. You have to use him.
Yes, that too.
His name is Kylan Granson. Like Kylan Granson is a really good tight end. You have to use him. Like we want to talk about how great Alec Pierce is, but we never used him, so we don't know. But we don't apply the same thing to the tight end. That's probably the best tight end on the roster that has the same. We drafted him because he can catch the ball and run. Mm-hmm. Guess what? We don't throw him the ball so he can catch it and run. Shocking news. Breaking news, we don't pass the ball to the tight end in open space. I just want to – and he's been here for 4 years now.
We did it on Sunday with a big game, I think a 40-yard game.
Yeah, we did it the one time on Sunday, and we're like, oh, wait, this guy can actually run. Yes, because he's actually really good at doing it. You have to stop throwing the ball to Ali Cox, who can't even catch a goat there. Nobody cares about that guy. Like, bench him. Like, honestly, bench him on Ali Cox. I would be just okay if I never saw him on the field again. Give me Ogletree and Kylan Granson the rest of the season. Like,
they don't use him either.
Huh?
They don't use Ogletree. I think they use him maybe the first game. I don't think
on the push. They use him on the push when they got Jonathan Taylor. He was in the game. He was in the game for that play.
Okay.
They use him like a goal line back. I don't know why.
We gotta do better. Definitely gotta do better with that. Moving on to our next topic. Can the defense build off this performance? I know, Harish, we had to come in early. We had that conversation. Let's go ahead and get into those logistics of that conversation.
Can the defense do it? Yes, maybe. Like, we have to think about it. Are the Bears really a good barometer of like how good the performance of this defense is? Potentially, but if you think about like how like the Caleb Williams, ideally, if he continues to progress as a quarterback, the Caleb Williams we saw, like it was like seeing CJ Stroud like at the beginning of the season versus the end of the season, right? You saw two very different quarterbacks. Like if we got the early version of Caleb Williams, if we were to face him at the end of the season and he had like the same like growth that CJ Stroud had, this defense would have been cooked because Caleb Williams did not play well and he still had like 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, right? He did have a couple of interceptions, but Rome Odunze cooked this defense. I don't know if people know this or not, but Rome Odunze is actually really good. He's like the top 10 pick. And so there's a lot of teams that have this like number one receiver. I still think any like halfway decent number one receiver is going to cook this secondary. Can they build off of it? I guess. I don't really know because they haven't really. They played the Bears. Like their offense is like built by a kindergartner. Like I don't know yet. They don't have an offensive line, and there's not really a test to be had. But it is encouraging to see that we're not getting cooked by young offenses. So that is a nice change to see, I guess.
Well, we do get to see Arthur Smith offense next week with the Steelers, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes because the Steelers, Justin Fields is breaking news. Justin Fields actually has a decent coach to coach him. So, you know who else has a decent coach to coach him?
Who?
Yes, you guys know who I'm talking about.
CJ Stroud.
Don't try to
Anthony
avoid
Richardson.
the question. Don't try to avoid the question. You guys, where's Chris? Is Chris in the chat? Who has a really good head coach? Who has a really good coaching staff right now? Chris Jackson. I'll give you an opportunity to answer in the chat because he knows exactly who I'm talking about. He knows exactly who I'm talking about. But we'll see if he answers, and I'll tell you in a second.
It's a Saints fan, poor Saints fan. He said, "Yeah, crybaby." I mean, who you saying has the good coaching?
Sam Darnold.
Oh man!
Come on, man. What
okay. I'll give you that because I've given you flack for it.
I'm telling you guys, he just needs a good coach. His coach when he came into the league, do y'all remember who his coach was? The guy was like was in the league for like 3 minutes.
Was it Rex Ryan?
Oh, geez. Now you're gonna make me go look for it. I'll look for it. I'll tell you. That guy was
Gus.
Yeah, it was Gus. Was it Gus? No, it wasn't Gus Bradley. It was what's his name?
Adam Gus or something like that.
Adam Gase.
Oh, yeah, Adam Gase. Yeah, that guy was an idiot.
Yeah.
And Sam Darnold sucks. Yeah, I would suck too. And then he went to Carolina, had Potato Head for a little bit, right? Didn't he have Potato Head? No, he had a Ron Rivera. That guy was a moron too. And then he went to San Francisco, and I was like, oh wait, Kyle Shanahan taught him something because he has a halfway decent coach. And now look at him. He's got a coach that knows what he's doing. So I don't know why I got to that point, but I just wanted to put that out there because I needed to have I needed to defend my guy that y'all told me was a bum.
To invest in the secondary, we know what the front seven can be. We can't help using these bum DBs. Can't keep using. What you think about this?
You need a GM. You need a new GM to invest in the secondary. That's all I'm going to say.
Also,
That's all I'm going to say. You need a new GM if you want to invest in the secondary because Chris Ballard's not going to do it.
Right. Yeah, we definitely talk about that another time, but it is stressful to have a GM that does not plug in the guys in our areas where we are weak at. So, what you think about the performance, and can they build off of it, Austin?
I mean, you would have to hope that we would build off of a good defensive performance. I feel like we talked, but not last week, but the week before, whenever I was on, our linebackers weren't playing well. They weren't tackling well, which was a little weird because, Zaire Franklin last year was leading the league in tackles, and then he was struggling, and EJ Speed struggling. But I feel like they both had bounce back games and played really well against the Bears. So you got to hope that they're getting back to where they're going to help lead the defense. But I mean, you got to hope that we're going to build off of that and play better going forward.
I mean, and that's good. That's a good take on that as well. That's a reach. I mean, having that performance, it's the Bears. Everybody say, yeah, it's the Bears, team, upcoming team, or whatever. But we can build off of it, because that's the only way you can go is go up. We got Steelers next. I think I forgot who we got after that. I'm not. Is it Minnesota?
Jacksonville.
And it give us hope.
We go to Jacksonville after that. It's our annual L.
I hope it's not this year.
We're winning. We're winning this year.
God, I hope so, man. I'm tired of talking about it. Hey, this is like the perfect storm, too, right?
Yes, it is.
It's like, hey, Jacksonville sucks. their generational quarterback can't even throw a 5-yard slant route 5 years into the league. See, this is when AR needs to get cooked. Is if he's 5 years down the road and can't even throw a 5-yard slant, then you start.
Uh-oh. Let's see if I think he's having some network issues. But yeah, I think what he was saying was we should wait until at least the 5th year before we cook AR on his 5-yard out routes and stuff like that. So, and I agree because they've been talking about this since last year, talking about it when he was in college, how he can throw 5-yard out routes. And when he did do it, it says how he did do. There you go.
I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But yeah. Gosh, Trevor Lawrence is just disaster. That whole organization is still a disaster. So that's definitely the perfect time for us to go in and lose.
Yeah, still blaming Ballard and I guess
Yes.
Ballard. We blame both.
Both of them.
It is a combination of both of them. It is Chris Ballard not creating the personnel, knowing that this secondary is notorious for being injured because it happens every year, right? And then it's Gus Bradley for his stupid 50 yards off the ball defense that he plays, which is ridiculous.
So it's 3rd and inches, and he's playing.
And you got guys like
20 yards back
in the freaking end zone. Yeah, so it's a combination of both.
Yes, I agree. I mean, at some point, Teresa, I know a lot of fans are, for Ballard, and a lot of fans are for Gus. But we got to come to realization that sometimes when you see this team, what can we know that there's areas where we can get better, and a lot of that falls on if it doesn't fall on coaching, then it has to fall on the GM. That's who put us in position to be successful, and the coaching has to coach those guys up to be successful. So if you don't have those weapons, or you don't have that DB to lock up a Romy or whatnot, or lock up first game who played the first game.
Nico Collins?
Nico Collins, Diggs.
That guy's playing on a different level right now, man. I don't know. I actually think he's actually good. Like, he's kind of killing it right now. But he also has a really accurate quarterback. So,
but you need those You need those cornerbacks. I mean, I think he had a decent game Sunday, but the Vikings, I mean, for the most part, had the Texans looking bad on offense.
Yeah.
So you need that good corner. You need linebackers too. I mean, like we said last week, or even past 2 weeks, our linebackers are made up of 5th, 6th, and 7th rounders. They're starters and captains. They're good, but let's be real. Outside of having Darius for the past 6, 7 years or 8 years,
we've never really addressed the secondary.
We never really addressed even most of the linebackers or secondary
guys. And we're like, all right, it's the annual Chris Ballard. Go, here's some false hope. We really like our guys. Here's this 5th, 6th, and 7th rounders. I talked about this last week, Teresa. 9 out of our 11 starters on defense are 5th round or higher draft picks. We don't have a lot of talent on this team. So yes, I do blame guys. I still blame Chris Ballard. I do want to ask you guys real quick. There's 4 main positions that you have to address on every team, and you have to get right in order for your team to like set a decent core. Quarterback, obviously, right? Left tackle, defensive end, or whatever edge, right? And then corner. Those are like the 4 main positions, like the top 4 positions that you have to address as an organization. And I think we're probably at 3 out of those 4 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I asked guys last week. Do you guys regret having lied to? You guys said no. We
no, because it's one of the 4, right? So you address that need.
But like you said, because we had the guy from Tulane that we could have drafted. And it would have been nice, but having the pass rush.
I really will too. Yeah. I don't think we have a left tackle. I'm sorry. I think we have a band-aided left tackle.
So you don't have Bernard been good though. Bernard Ryman been good.
He's been all right. We can do better.
I would say it's better than having the guy that looked bad on Sunday, Matt Pryor, and then having Eric Fisher.
Yeah. I think I kind of talked about this, and we don't have time to go into this, but maybe we make this on a different show. Like every quarterback, right, in the league is a system quarterback. I don't care what you tell me. Every quarterback in the league is a system quarterback. It is up to this is why I put so much on Chris Ballard. It is up to the GM to build to the strength of his quarterbacks. Chris Ballard knows that the strength of Anthony Richardson is throw the ball down the field and get guys in open space, right? And so in order to do that, you need very good wide receivers, right? Which I think we're getting. We need a left tackle that can protect his blind side because, as a guy that's out of the pocket a lot, he's not looking at his blind side. He's always looking down the field and the opposite of his blind side. So he's got to protect his blind side. And you need, running backs that are really good. And I don't think Chris Ballard has set this team up to do that, right? He's like, all right, let me go. He spent 8 years saying, I think he said, didn't he say when he drafted Anthony Richardson, I've known for 3 years I wanted to get this guy. So what were you doing for 3 years except building for the guy that you knew that you already kind of wanted? That's the kind of stuff that blows my mind, right? If they had a good idea what type of quarterback, or even if it wasn't Richardson, he knew his type. So he did nothing to build for the type of quarterback that he wanted. And you go look at Washington, for example. I think Washington did a fantastic job building for Jaden Daniels. But that's where I put so much pressure on GMs because they literally have one job, and that is to build a team around the most important position on the team. And every GM has to do it. It's really not that hard. It's not like and yes, I know you're going to say, well, you're just you guys sitting on YouTube. Yes, I am. I get that. But we all know listen, we can all just sit on here. We watch enough ball to know that, certain guys are just not good enough to be in this league, and certain guys are just not good enough to do X, Y, and Z. I've seen 9 years of this GM not be able to put together a team behind a quarterback. Or to build a team around any of his quarterbacks. He didn't do Carson Wentz any favors. He didn't do Matt Ryan any favors. He didn't do,
Brissett.
Jacoby. Yeah, Brissett you give a pass for, right? But he doesn't do his quarterback favors, and he knows what he's drafting in advance. For those of you that says, well, he didn't know he was going to do. Yes, he did. He told you 3 years ago. He told you at his press conference when he drafted Anthony Richardson that he was going to draft Anthony Richardson. I've known for about 3 years now, probably 2 or 3 years, that this is the guy I really liked. And then he spent 2 or 3 years twiddling his thumbs and telling the media that his job didn't start until he drafted Anthony Richardson. That's so ridiculous to me. That is my rant. That's why I put a lot on Chris Ballard. And that's why I can't stand. That's why I think he's a terrible team builder for that specific scenario. And I rest my case on that. So that's all I had. I won't say anything else. I just wanted to bring that up because it was really near and dear to my heart that I brought that up.
Anything you want to say on that, Austin?
I mean, it's been proven that Chris Ballard doesn't take care of positions that we obviously need. Everybody knew we needed safety corners, and he didn't address that at all. He has his problems. He's done good things, but he's done a lot of bad too. And like it's just getting to the point where he's not building the team that we want him to build, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
Austin, you're being told that you need to speak more, so we're just gonna both mute our mics, and you will be speaking for the next 5 minutes of this show.
All right, that's it. Thanks y'all for watching.
hey.
Well, that's the opposite of what we said.
But I get it, man. I mean, like I said, 8 years and you're still having these same conversations.
Yeah, it's like every year it's the same thing, and it just gets old.
Yeah.
Well, for him, I think he's already embraced it. You know, he's like, you know, hey, whatever I do gets me fired, it gets me fired. So I don't think he really even cares what we thinks, because he's pretty much probably think he already cooked if we don't have a somewhat successful season. I'm not saying Super Bowl or not like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, just even making the playoffs because he haven't won a division since he's been GM, and I think he made the playoffs only twice since he's been GM. So that's not enough. You can't keep making that same excuse year after year. So we'll see.
Do you think he already knows that he's like toast, basically? So he's just kind of like, yeah, whatever happens at this point.
That's just pretty much, yeah. When you say that,
I get that feeling.
Huh?
I get that feeling from him. Well, if this is what gets me fired, then I guess so. Like to me, it's just like, yeah, it is what it is at this point. We just see what happens, and if I'm here, then maybe I'll change something. And quote unquote, I won't, because I'd tell you I was right. And then if we don't win, then I'm gone anyways. So who cares?
Right. And I don't like that. I don't like that mindset, because you're already pretty much saying that this season is what it is. So yeah. We're gonna move on before we get up out of here, man. We're gonna get our predictions on this next game: Steelers versus Colts. Another home game, back-to-back home games for us. What you guys predict on this game? I'm not really I'm a little nervous on this game because they do have a different quarterback, but they do have a good coach that is sound. But I believe in our coach as well. So we like the guy that we have. Austin, what's your prediction?
Yeah, so I mean, the Steelers can't stay undefeated, right? They just can't. We got to keep Justin Fields in the pocket, make him be a passer, and I think we win this game. I'm gonna say 24-20.
Not bad.
And hope the offense plays better.
Oh yes, definitely has to play better against a team that got great defense and a guy that is tough to stop in number 90.
They'll probably be trying to make AR throw as well. Like that's probably a game plan.
What you think? Oh yeah, that's gonna be a game plan. Hopefully, we on the winning side of that. At least help us win. What you have, Harish?
I don't know, dude. I literally have no idea. Like, I have no clue what to think about this game. Like, part of me is like, I think we win this game, but then the other part of me is like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of incomplete passes between both teams, and like this game is going to take like 4 hours to complete. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think the Colts win like 17-14, and I think it's going to be off of a Matt Gay field goal.
Hopefully he hits it.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I feel like, you know, he's due to he screws up so much that every now and then he's due to like a really good game to Chris Ballard us and give us the false hope that he's actually good. But yeah, I guess I'll go 17-4. I just don't know what to expect from this game. Like, I literally think it could be like, both teams, because Najee Harris isn't healthy, so I don't know if they play him.
He's playing.
Jalen Warren ain't healthy either. Like they're both a little banged up.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they will run the ball effectively. But the other part is Justin Fields kind of looks good right now because he has a
He's
competent
elite.
head coach and a competent coaching staff. So he miraculously learned how to play quarterback again. So that part worries me. The part that we're gonna get cooked by freaking George Pickens because that dude is really good. But the other part of me is throw it all away because both quarterbacks could do 40% completion percentage, and this game could be 17-14. So I really don't know. So I'm just gonna go safe, just based on what I know. I'm just gonna say Colts win 17-14.
Yeah, I was going with the same thing. 17-14. I just feel like you said, it's going to be a low-scoring game. Maybe defense. If they don't have the run game on their end, just having Justin Fields or even Russell Wilson won't be enough for them to win this game just in the air. Judge Pickens will have his moments. He had make those plays like he has against us for the past 2 seasons. But last year, we came out on top intercepting him. I think it was Nick Cross that mossed him on the defense side. So that was a welcome sight to see as well. So I got us winning 17-14 as well. Like I said, we can build off this momentum. It's a home game. And then last year we didn't even have AR. We had Gardner Minshew passing the ball. And I feel like me personally, we have mentioned it. For me personally, I feel like this is a game that Michael Pittman come out game. Pause. Because last time he played these guys, he had a dirty hit towards his neck. They kicked him out.
This was the dirty hit game. Yeah, he was cooking him too, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was cooking.
Yeah, maybe he was saving it for this week.
I hope so.
God, I hope so. Come on, man, please.
But like you said, I mean, this is the game. He cooked them and the guy knocked him out. And I was worried about the rest of the game because I didn't know what our offense going to come with. Come after not having you don't have your JT, you don't have your number one receiver in the game. So what can we do to win the game? Even though we did end up winning, but now we have an AR back there. And let's see what he can do against a sound defense that plays sound throughout the game. They have their moments where they have collabs, they have penalties that cause them to have negative yardage on their end, but pretty much for the most part, they're sound. We just got to make those plays when they're available. Make those plays, make those out plays that AR missed this past Sunday, and lower his turnovers. I mean, because we already know the Steelers are going to get those turnovers. They're going to get it. They're going to get to the ball. They're going to swim to the ball. We just got to make those plays. And if you got to run, because we haven't talked about this either, it seems like he's just want to pass the ball a lot. But he can also be helping the run game as well if he can utilize his legs on the run, on a couple bootleg plays, or design runs for himself. So I definitely want to see that on Sunday against a team that I hated losing 8 years in a row against. It seemed like we could never beat the Steelers for the past 8 seasons up until last year. We struggled beating New England. We struggled beating Jacksonville and Jacksonville in Florida. So definitely got to get over the hurdle with even just consistently beating still a good Steelers team that's 3-0. But any other final comments before we move on to Sunday?
I'm good.
I don't think so.
Yes, Teresa said, as long as we win, I'm happy. I agree. So she got 24-17 is her prediction. Oh yeah, she said we lost Harish. But yeah, if nothing else, guys, because I do hope a victory. I hope we come back next Tuesday with the same energy we had today on a winning streak, first winning streak of the season, and can enjoy our victories, our victory Mondays leading to Tuesday. So, but yeah, we don't have anything else. We don't have anything else, guys. Let's go ahead and give them our socials and what we got going.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
Real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to Smokey. Thank you, Smokey. We appreciate you. We thank you for all that you do, including beating OU. We appreciate
Go
it.
Balls.
I'm not going to say all that, but thank you. But you can find me at the Uncle Gandhi, and obviously Thursday nights, 8:30 Eastern, with my boy Tim Wayne. SEC play starts this week, and we get the worst team in the conference, so that's always nice. So we get good old Mississippi State this week. So Texas starts SEC play at home. And OU started SEC play because they suck, and that's what they do. So we appreciate you. Oh, and good luck to Bama. That's a really good game. But yeah, at the Uncle Gandhi, and then Thursday nights Longhorn fan battle with my boy Tim Wayne.
We appreciate those takes and what you got coming up. I definitely a little worried about our game, but hopefully we'll win that game against Georgia. We did beat them pretty bad last year, so. But you guys can find me on X at Who Is Y'all Senior, and every Tuesday you can find us on here at 9:30 Eastern Time. Follow us on Twitter at Horseshoe_mob. Follow us at the same on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our socials: Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all the above. But before we get out of here, guys, we always got to do this. We always have to do this because guess what? Sam loves Jalen Ramsey. And even more loves Jalen Ramsey because her team is 0-3. So we're going to get out of here, guys.
Brutal.